Good day to viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Grange, British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. So we've got a parlophone record, R2730. I'm going to be offensive in the spring. Well, it's been fairly offensive on a couple of records. Sung by Ronald Frankau with Monty Crick at the piano. Here we go.
Little slogan which started late in '39 and early 1940. I'm going to be offensive in the spring. And Gamla strengthened up his line, and Gort got very gaudy about this big offensive in the spring. When each prisoner was asked, with many knowing winks, what Germans thought of Hitler, they answered what we thinks, as Americans in talkies say already, so he stinks, and he's going to be offensive in the spring. I met a girl one freezing week, quite early in December. I'm going to be offensive in the spring. I kissed her lightly on the cheek and warned her to remember I was going to be offensive in the spring. She said, "You funny bald head, dear, I love you heart and soul. So take me to your fireside now and play the lover's role." I said, "I'm sorry, darling, but I'm awfully short of coal. But I'm going to be offensive in the spring." A weekend hut in shaded dell, left in wintry pallor, as no one was offensive till the spring. The snow and temperature fell, the sun withheld its colour, it was going to be offensive in the spring. The weight of snow broke through the roof and thawed one later week, and on the lovely divan bed did leak and leak and leak. It soaked right through the mattress, murmuring with a rusty squeak, I'm going to be offensive in the spring. A boy met girl, nothing wrong, he dumb, but she the dumber, with no wish to be offensive in the spring. They spoke when June had come along, they'd waited till the summer, and neither had been offensive in the spring. In July they were happy, their candour knew no ban. They agreed to part in August when their love had run its span. So of course he was astounded when she wrote to him in Jan, I'm going to be offensive in the spring. Fish below and bird in space, all beasts feel it propitious to be somewhat offensive in the spring. For everything there's time and place, and it's rare if one's ambitious to avoid such old conventions as the spring. But a lady salmon sought the river's head from eve to morn. Up and up the stream she swam, all lonely and forlorn, and she answered when a daring friend had asked where she would spawn, I'm going to be offensive in the spring. A farmer who had been accused of being too inactive swore he'd be offensive in the spring. Alas, his cows had all refused to yield the liquid lactive which would help in his offensive in the spring. The farmer bought a noble bull his herd of cows to mate. The bull refused, the farmer swore, the bull was heard to state, but don't forget they also serve who only stand and wait, and I'm going to be offensive in the spring.
That was actually rather pleasant. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.